What's good, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mikey Raider. This is now my second attempt at making a complete draft recap video. I made a basically 30-minute video earlier, uploaded thumbnails, put it on YouTube, started a premiere, and it had no audio. So now this is my second attempt at a complete draft recap video from my perspective, and it won't be 30 minutes long because I'm effing tired. But please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of this channel for a few bucks. It supports me, it buys me tacos, and we do have members only content starting today. I uploaded some reaction videos where I'm in bed, pretty much NAKEY. So for all you PERVERTSs out there that like that stuff, you can go watch my draft reactions from day 3 for members only. There is a donation portal below. Consider donating, supporting your boy, but you can also support by hitting that like. And hopefully by the end of this draft, I've earned your subscription, your friendship, and your family. Because we family. All right, let's just jump right into it. I'm pretty tired. In the first 3 rounds, we drafted Brock Bowers, Jackson Powers, and Damari Glaze, and they were all offensive weapons and keys on the offense. You can watch my previous videos for those recaps. Now, this was day 3. There was a thought that the Raiders could go quarterback in the 4th round as Spencer Rattler and I believe his name is Jordan Tavares or Travis. Sorry, Cranberry. Was available. Now, I had the premonition yesterday's video that I said if the Raiders don't draft a quarterback in the 4th round, they're not getting a quarterback. And the 4th round came and gone, and we did not draft a quarterback. So I immediately went on Twitter and told everybody we ain't drafting a quarterback. We don't need one. This shows a lot of faith for this entire draft in Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell as competition. So we have to take it as that. And let's just talk about the day 4 draft picks from a semi-quick perspective. In round 1, 2, 3, they pretty much went offense, best player available. And maybe they did with at least 2 picks out of the first 3. But that being said, they fit needs in today's draft or yesterday's draft or whenever you're watching this. They finally fit some needs, and they started to go defensively. So, in round 4, bypassing a quarterback that was possibly available, they went quarterback DeCameron Richards. Then in round 5, one of the quarterbacks was still on the board, and then they still went with linebacker Tommy Eichenberg. Now, the interesting thought about maybe this 5th round pick was, I believe it was the 5th round, and then right after the Raiders picked the linebacker, the New Orleans Saints were on the clock. Sorry, guys, I have cranberries all throughout my mouth that are just coming out because, I spit when I talk. But the Saints picked right after the Raiders did, and then they picked up Spencer Rattler. Does Derek Carr have something to be worried about? I don't know. He is an insecure person. There was a lot of controversy with him on the Raiders team and sometimes with the players and the fans for the Saints. So now he's got competition. Is it competition? I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see how Derek Carr reacts to it. Publicly, he's going to say and do all the right things, but he might be a little bit scared, So for all the Derek Carr haters out there, you got your wish. But that was interesting. Then in round, I believe it's 6, or it might have been 7, the Raiders picked up running back Dylan Labe. And this was a position of need for competition. And some are calling Dylan Labe a poor man's Christian McCaffrey. Some, not many. But I liked his highlights when I did see them. And he's a white guy. And we'll talk about that in a second. You might have saw the title of this video. Then in round 7, they went safety with Trey Taylor. Round 8, cornerback MJ, Michael Jordan Devonshire. So, as you can see, rounding out the entire original draft class, they fit some needs on day 3. And they added an offensive possible weapon, but they mainly went defense because our defense is better than our offense. And that's 100% honesty. We were top 10 on defense last year, and our offense could barely score over 20, 21 points. Sorry. My body does a lot of things. So we added some weapons to this team. And what does that say about not drafting a quarterback? What does that say to Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell from Antonio Pierce? Of course they wanted a quarterback. There is rumors that the Raiders tried to trade back into the first round, into the top 10 to maybe get, I think it might have been Michael Penix, but it didn't work out. So they let the draft come to them, and then they had the Gardner Minshew plan in effect with an emerging Aiden O'Connell. So they were cool with not drafting a quarterback in this year's draft. But what does that say to Gardner Minshew and AOC? This is still any one of yours' team to win the job. And that's really good for competition. Now, in terms of Antonio Pierce and for Tom Telesco, giving our new offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, the first 3 picks in the draft on offense, that shows belief in him. This is your team. Let's get you some weapons. Let's get you some, offensive linemen for the future. Let's build a good O-line, because maybe next year is the opportunity to draft a franchise quarterback if we truly suck again. We suck again. Again, we can win some games with Gardner Minshew and or AOC because our defense is that good already. We were top 10 last year. So if we do suck again, we're building the O-line to protect our future possible early drafted quarterback. So they gave Luke Getsy a gift in drafting these players. And what does that say about the team? They're all in with our new offensive coordinator and the run game and weapons. I like it. I really do. And then, for day 3, we added a lot on defense. We added some positional values of need on defense as well. And then this year on defense in free agency, we added key pieces to a top 10 defense. And now we added a bunch of possible depth in the later rounds of the draft. Great draft. And I'll give you my grades in a minute. Now, on the undrafted free agency front, I don't have the complete list in front of me, but there's a lot of players that I did see that were apparently signed by the Raiders. Now, let's quickly talk about them. They did get a quarterback in undrafted free agency. They got a quarterback, Carter Brady, out of Alabama, out of a big school. He was recruited to Alabama because he has skills. So that's an interesting big school pickup. I do not know if he was a starter or whatever for Alabama. I got to look up some highlights and stats, but he's from a big school, so he's got skills, and he may be a prospect, but you might as well pick undrafted free agents from big schools because they played good competition, and they were recruited with a skill set to possibly play good in college and maybe be in the NFL. So that's an interesting pickup. We got 3 wide receivers with the last name Kalon out of Tennessee, wide receiver Griffin out of Mississippi State, and wide receiver Furman, and it doesn't say the school here, so forgive me. Then we backed up the running back in the draft, and then now we added 3 wide receivers to round out our wide receiver room. Hopefully one of them makes the team, or special teams at least. Then we got a tackle, I think his name is Gokar. So we're addressing the offensive line as well by getting a lot of players that are versatile. Then in undrafted free agency, we got an O-lineman named Barrington, an O-lineman named Gideon, a defensive lineman, and then 2 defensive edge rushers. I don't have the names here. Then we got another linebacker and 3 more cornerbacks. in undrafted free agency. So we added two cornerbacks, two cornerbacks and a safety during the draft, and then we added three more cornerbacks in undrafted free agency. Now, there's probably about 15 or 14 players that I just basically listed off in undrafted free agency. I don't really know if they verbally commit to play for the Raiders, if they're still taking money offers for other teams and they can back out or relinquish on playing for the Raiders. So maybe in a couple of days, some of these names that I mentioned are off the list. I do not know how that works. That'll be something that I'm going to have to look at. But apparently for now, these are verbal agreements by these players listed, and I want to root them on the best. But they definitely brought in a bunch of players that they didn't fill during the draft, like at wide receiver, and they want to find the starting quarterback out of the two they drafted and the three they are bringing in. So that's 5 cornerbacks, and they want one of them to be a starter. Same thing at defensive edge rusher. But again, O-lineman, at O-line. They're hoping to get a starter out of all the groups that they drafted and whatnot. So it's really interesting, the undrafted free agency, and they rounded out their team. So let me just be quickly honest. The title of this video is called The Widest Draft Class Ever for the Raiders. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we got 8 players in today's draft. And I saw a Twitter or an X where somebody said and showed the pictures, and I think 6 out of the 8 are possibly Caucasian. So I just thought that was funny AF, and it's kind of like a catchy title. So I'm going with it. So I guess the draft class is 80% white, which I don't have a problem with it. I don't know why everybody wants to go racial nowadays, but it's interesting. It's kind of funny. So I'm going to use it as a title. Don't hate me. You can hate me now, but I won't stop now. Trying to get views, baby. Trying to make a couple of dollars to buy some tacos. Are you okay with that? All right, now let me give you my overall draft class thoughts and results. And if I had to grade the day 3 players, because I think I graded the other players in the other videos for day 3 in round 4, cornerback DeCameron Richardson, A+. Round 5, linebacker Tommy Eichenberg, A+. Round 6 or 7, running back Dylan Lobby, A+. Round 7, safety Trey Taylor. Yeah, that's a tough one. A+. Round 8, Michael Jordan Devonshire, cornerback. That's going to be an A+, Bob. That's right. I'm on the positivity note. I'm giving every Raider draft pick an A+. Forget what I said in the other videos. I'm giving everyone an A+. I'm on that positive tip. And that's what we need for our Raiders team. We need that positive flow to get the positive get them spirit for the Raiders. You feel me? So, overall, we fit needs and we found depth. And we're building a team for the future as well as right now. And we're building upon our defense, who is already good. And now we're trying to help the offense catch up with some weapons. And then we're building an O-line, not only for the quarterbacks we have now, but for the possibility of getting a rookie quarterback next year or so. And if that's the case, if we suck again this year and we have a top 8 or 9 or 10 draft pick, and if the Raiders are like 2-8, to start the season, well, in my opinion, in order to make the playoffs, you got to be 10-7 or something like that, maybe 11-5, depending on how the season goes. And if we're 2-8 or something like that, tank. Don't tell them you're tanking, but go out there, get a mask, go in the ocean, and put on a tank. Go out there into the war zones, get in that metal vehicle that's called a tank, and you go in the bathtub, you pull out your little plastic submarine toys, and you tank the submarine, tank it. then we get a high draft pick, maybe 5, 6, or 7. Then if you need to go all in to get the top 3 pick, you go all in because we built an offensive line, and now maybe we just need a quarterback. And hopefully this year our defense can at least be top 10 again. And to the beginning of the season, going into a second year with Patrick Graham, he's going to have these boys ready. And we're going to build a chemistry, and we're going to be good on defense. We're just hoping our offense can catch up a little bit more than they did last year. And with the playmakers we've added, and we hope Aiden O'Connell takes a leap forward. We hope Gardner Minshew takes a leap forward. Maybe they could both be our quarterbacks. One game here and there, see what's happening. Whatever happens, happens. But if we need to get a quarterback, we need to go all in next year if we suck this upcoming year. But we're hoping to score more than 20 points, which I think we did last year on average. So if we could improve this year to 21, 22, 23 points a game with the way our defense is playing, we're going to be in some games. So don't worry, Raider Nation. We're going to be in some games. Seriously. So regardless if you enjoy all the draft picks or you understand them or they didn't pick up a star player, this was an excellent draft class. This was a new draft class with the new Raider swag. We got some new hungry players that are playing. We got some good white boys that are going to be playing that are hungry to make some money for their families. And it was a beautiful draft class. And if I have to be honest with a grade, because I don't really know all the college players, I'm going to look forward to watching highlights and some other stuff in the coming days. But I grade this entire draft a B+. Because I kind of understood it, and I enjoyed it, and I like it. And it has 80% white guys. Sorry, I'm just trying to be stupid and funny. But there we go. That's how it is. Let me know your grades on the draft official below. Now, also, let me know your best and worst draft picks in the comments below. I'll give you my best and worst right now. My best draft pick would have to be running back Dylan Lobb. Well, not only because he's a white guy, but I love running backs and I love rooting for running backs. And then I saw his highlights, and I'm not a genius or a guru, but he looked like a Christian McCaffrey to me, like a poor man's Christian McCaffrey. And then he bruised a few people. Then I saw the phone call that the team made to him, and I was kind of all in. I like running backs. I really do. I hope for the best for them. I hope him and Zamir White can create a chemistry and they can do some things together because I believe Amir Abdullah is technically the third down back. But they say this guy, Dylan Lobb, is like a good pass-catching back, and he does know how to block. So I understand why the Raiders drafted him. And I like the stories of underdogs, and I believe he's an underdog. And I'm hoping we get any poor man of Christian McCaffrey, if you know what I'm saying. So I appreciate that pick. That was my favorite pick. It should have been the Brock Bowers pick, because he has my last name. But to be quite honest with you, I wasn't expecting them to pick a tight end at that spot. And it kind of freaked me out for a little bit till I thought about it. And I calmed the F down. So that should have been my best pick, but nah. I like the highlights and the stuff I saw from Dylan Lobb, DL. And why do I like that his initials are DL? Because it's on the down low. No. I'm an actor. I was on a Nickelodeon show, and my character's name was what? Donkey Lips? Is that DL? It goes hand in hand, y'all. We got a player on the team named Bowers, my last name, and now we got a player on the team with the initials DL. For a character I played on Nickelodeon. This is my draft, baby. This is our Raiders. What face was that? I don't know. Then my worst pick was the third rounder, Demiri Glaze, because I saw all the experts say that he was possibly a 5th round draft pick, And then he does have an injury history. He tore, I believe, both of his ACLs on the same knee or leg in high school. But he did come back, play for college, and got drafted in the 3rd round. So he's doing good, but I didn't know that medical history. And the experts said he should have been taken in the 5th round or maybe the 4th. So I'm just going to say that was the worst pick to me. So that's my best and worst. But honestly, I'm not complaining about any of them. We did pick up a bunch of players that have injuries in the last season or two. Look that up. It's kind of interesting. But the Raiders know what they're doing. Finally, the Raiders know what they're doing. And I'm appreciative. All right, everybody. I love you guys. Thank you for giving me a great draft weekend experience, joining my live stream, supporting me, super chatting me, PayPaling me, and just being my family when I needed you the most. Even though I wasn't feeling good today and I couldn't go live for today's reaction, you guys mean the world to me, and I appreciate you. Now, it's time for the Raider Wrap to end this 2024 draft. And people always remember that I do a Raider recipe every year on the draft day. And I did one this year. I just didn't have the ability to film it, the editing skills, the computer, or the time. But I made Raider Bauer Power Burritos. And that's what I named it before they drafted Bowers and Powers. I didn't really do that. I called them Raideritos, like Raider Burritos, Raideritos. But I'm calling it the Raider Bauer Powers Burrito. It's carne asada. I've ate 4 of them now. Should have filmed it. I can still make more. I have it in the fridge with. Maybe I'll film that for another video. Well, I'll make a Raider Power burrito and just eat it and make it for you. But I didn't make a video. I wanted to do it while I was live streaming, but basically I just poured the meat that I bought at a Spanish store, in the air fryer, and then I had some lettuce, some green salsa, and I already had brown rice and black beans, which I call them black beans and black rice. Because, it has to be a silver and black burrito. It has to be a silver and black Bauer Powers Raider burrito. Everything has to be black and silver, and brown rice looks black and silver when you cook it. And the black beans are black. That's why we had the whitest draft class, because everything I've been eating lately has been black and silver. We got the whitest draft class. But yeah, that's what I made. Hopefully I'll make a video of me eating it. Maybe you guys will like that. Or making it with my leftovers. But yeah, that was my Raider recipe for this year. Let me know what you guys cooked, if you did on draft day, what you made, and give it a Raider name. Now it's time for the Raider Wrap to end today's video. And I'm going to start out with the words Bauer Power. Why not? We got 2 players named Bauer Power. Raider Nation, let me hear ya. Raider Nation, they all feel ya. Raider Nation, let me hear ya. Raider Nation, they all fear ya. Yo, we are the Raiders and we got the freaking Bauer. And we're going to do what? We're going to add the freaking power. We're going to do it big. We're going to do it now. It's Raider Nation now, and we do it really loud. Raider Nation gets together every single day. Raider Nation is my freaking family every way. Raider Nation yells, Raider Nation fights, but they get together and they party all night. Yo, this is the Raiders 2024 draft clash, and everybody knows they're not going to play like ass, and everybody knows the truth about us. We are the Raiders, and we getting on the bus to the Super Bowl. Everybody say it with me. We're gonna go to the bowl games, to the Super Bowl, to the Bauer Power Raiderito. Holes in my mouth like donuts from Krispy Kreme. Everybody knows I got that shiny gleam. Cause why? I'm the Bauer Power from the West, and everybody knows Raider Nation is my best. I got my heart on my sleeve, and I'ma yell it proud. I'm a YouTuber. I'm still doing it now. After being sued by my own team, guess what? Yo, fuck them. But it's waiting for me. Waiting for life. Let's go. Let's go. I love you guys. Enjoy your day. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay Raider. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Somebody add a beat to it. Cut it up for me. If you got those type of skills, I'd like to see it. I love you guys. Raiders! Let me know your thoughts on the draft class, the best and worst, and your grades in the comments below. Peace.